Okay, in this video we'll review problem 6 on the final exam review. It says use properties of logarithms and inverse properties of exponentials to simplify expressions. So we're supposed to write these three expressions in one single logarithmic quantity. So first step is to put any value that's in front of the log. So for 6i, actually a letter I, we have 5 log x minus log 4. Okay, the first step is to write it as log x to the 5th, because the 5 in front is an exponent on the x, and then we would then combine them together with a division. That's what subtraction of logarithms means. So log x to the 5th divided by 4 is the solution for the first one. Okay, for the second one, we don't have anything in front of it, so the ln, if these two terms are added together, so an addition of logarithms is a multiplication problem. So what we would do is write this as ln of x minus 3 times 2x, or ln of 2x squared minus 6x. All right, this is the second problem. And the third problem combines all of these things together. So we have ln of x minus 2 ln of x plus 1 plus ln of x minus 1. So the first step is to move this 2 to the exponent. So we'd write ln of x minus ln of x plus 1 squared plus ln of x minus 1. So the next step would be to combine these two together first. So we'd have ln of x divided by x plus 1 squared plus ln of x minus 1. And then that's what this would do, to make a division out of these two terms. And then this positive one would be multiplying it, so it would be ln of x over x plus 1 squared times x minus 1. And we would put that in the numerator and write it as ln of x times x plus, or x minus 1, over x plus 1 squared. So that would be our single logarithm in problem A sub 3. Okay, so then we're going to do some simplification of logs based upon the inverses. So in part B, you have e to the ln of x minus 3. For part B, the first problem is e to the ln of x minus 3. Since these are inverse functions, we can reduce them to just this value. So the answer to that is just x minus 3. Since these are inverse functions, they undo each other and you end up with this term here, x minus 3. Same thing happens on the next problem on part B, where you have log 10 x plus 5. Log 10 x plus 5 log 10 x plus 5. So in this case, this is base 10, And since these are the same bases, then they are inverses of one another, and the answer is just x plus 5. So anytime you see the inverses next to each other in logarithms, for example, if you had log base 3 of 3 to the x, then that's just going to be what's up here, the x value. So inverses, e and ln are inverses, log and log base 10 are inverses. Any bases that are the same are inverses. We could also write it as 3 to the log base 3 of x. They're the inverses of one another. We have an exponential function and a logarithmic function. That's going to also be x. So that's how we undo each other on inverse functions with logarithms and exponential functions.